Hi Virgos, welcome to my channel The Angel Witch Tarot. So let's start off with the cards. This reading is for the week of 23rd February 2026 to the 1st of March 2026. Alright, so let's start. Let's see what the spirits want you to know regarding your intuition. Alright. We have soul connection, which says connect deeply with your soul and discover your true self. And second one is inner knowing. It says trust your inner wisdom, it will guide you on the right path. Alright, so let's move to the tarot. So we have the Emperor in reverse, Temperance upright, and the Seven of Cups upright. Let's get three of the cards as well. We've got the Empress in reverse, the Eight of Swords upright, and the Hanged Man in reverse. So, the Emperor in reverse talks about how you're feeling domineering, controlling, lack of discipline, you're being rigid, stubborn, reckless, and a tyrant. While the Empress in reverse talks about facing creative blocks, being selfish, impatient, dependent on others. It also talks about inaction, lack of concentration, indecisive, overwhelmed, infidelity, and anxiety. And then we have the Temperance card. So the Temperance card upright talks about balance, harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose, finding meaning. Right? So you're finding that balance and harmony in everything you do. You're trying to find it. If you're not able to find it, it will come to you. Then it also talks about doing things in moderation, being patient, being sensible, finding your purpose, and finding meaning to things you do. Right? And then we have the Seven of Cups upright, which talks about multiple opportunities in front of you. There are multiple opportunities. You're having wishful thinking, you have multiple choices, you're under an illusion, you're searching for purpose, and you're daydreaming a lot, right? And then we have the Eight of Swords here. The Eight of Swords upright talks about negative thoughts, self-imposed restrictions, imprisonment, and victim mentality. You're entrapped in your own mind. The Swords is an air sign, which is all about the mind. So you're probably having a lot of negative thoughts, you're restricting yourself to a lot of things, it feels like you're imprisoned inside your mind, you're having that victim mentality, and you're trapped in your head, right? Those thoughts are trapping you. And then we have the reversed Hanged Man. So the reversed Hanged Man talks about delays, standstills, resistance, stalling, indecision, fear of sacrifice, and lack of control. It's also a water sign, so it could also be talking about emotionally speaking. You could be lacking control and fearing sacrifice, so you're resisting it, right? And then we have the King of Swords upright, which talks about you using your head over your heart, being disciplined, being truthful, honest, finding that mental clarity and authority. And then we have the Two of Cups in reverse. So in reverse, the Two of Cups is all about self-love, disharmony, distrust, breakups, imbalance, tension, and broken communication. There's a lot of imbalance, blocks, lack of discipline, but at the same time you're trying to have that discipline. There's a lot of delays and standstills in your way, obstacles in your way. You're trapping yourself in your head with the thoughts that are running over and over in your head, right? So let's move on. We've got heartbreak, which says heartbreak is a part of the human experience. It'll pass. Of course, it'll pass. It'll take its own time, but it'll surely pass. And then we have anticipation. It says, embrace the sweet anticipation of love's arrival in your life. It's coming. Now for this card deck, I want you to think of somebody. It could even be yourself. Just think of somebody and we'll figure out what they're unable to say, what's hidden in their hearts. Because this is the Shadow Love Oracle card, which is all about the shadows, right? Okay, ready? So the first one we've got says, it takes two. Someone is not committed. It's an incompatible relationship and it's very conflicted. And then the second one says, vicious circle. It says pattern of relationship issues, bad habits, and it's a no-win situation. We've got two more jumping out. So it says public image and cuts both ways. So the public image card says worried about appearances and can't relax. They're very conceited. Cuts both ways says good and bad aspects, mixed blessing and division. Alright. So let's move on to the last card deck. We've got the Cunning Fox, which is all about cleverness, deduction, and persistence. It says to quickly discover your hidden talents. And then we have the Guardian Bear, which says power, which is all about power, inner strength, and healing. It says to go travel, discover the beauty of nature. You need to connect with the power of the earth, right? So this is it for the cards. Let's move on to the overall energy of the week with the Astro Dice. We've got Cancer, 9th house, Neptune. So Neptune is all about your intuition, mysticism, dreams, delusions. It's also talking about your imagination, confusion, psychic receptivity, inspiration, deceit, guilt, addictions, vulnerability, right? And it also talks about music, memories, photography, spirituality, and idealism. And then we have Cancer, which is all about loyalty, nurturing, that nurturing energy, the emotions, support, compassion, unconditional love. It also talks about dependence, passive aggressiveness, moodiness, healing, femininity, feminine figures like mothers, ancestries, home, comfort, safety, soft and sensitive energy. right? Then we have the ninth house. The ninth house is all about that long distance journeys, the travel plans that you're having, and it's also about religion, philosophy, higher education, lawyers, dreams, divination, wisdom, being interested in the arts, the media, the publications, or publishing, the ethics, learning, and the cultures, right? So this is the reading for Virgos for the week of 23rd Feb to the 1st of March 2026. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye!